we are Misha and Meli, and in a few minutes you're gonna be seeing our presentation of the server and the client and how we did it, how it works, and how the code is structured. But before, we just wanted to introduce ourselves and said what we thought of the assignment. And yeah, Misha.
Yeah, in general, it was pretty much fun to work on that and to implement our own RESTful API. Although we struggle a bit with the implementation requirements, and it took us a bit more time than expected to actually get our client connected to another server from a peer student group. But yeah, in the end, I think we learned a lot, and I hope you enjoy our little clip. Before we dive into our final application, how it runs, we first show you our server. This is the structure of our server, and we will take a small glimpse into each file and talk you through what each file is doing. So the main component, I would say, is the pizza. You can see the different instant variables each pizza has. We also have multiple constructors. As you can see here, we also have the return method for the toppings and all the other setters and getters method for each instant field. Then we also have the order. The order field, as you can see, is mapped with a lot of JSON views, because for different get methods we want to return different views. That's why we included this here. And yeah, each order has the requested fields. There is the constructor for the orderer. If some of the fields are not initialized or does not hold any sufficient value, we throw an API request exception, an error basically, which we see later. There is the constructor where we initialize every field. We can also loop through our order and find the requested pizza. And then down here we have all the getters and setters methods, and also we check if the delivery time is exceeded, and for this we use Java's built-in local datetime. Then we also have the delivery address, which is its own class holding the correlated values, street, city, country, zip code, gets initialized, and as usual the getters method for these fields. So for the second part, we will take a close look into the pizza controller service, the views and the exceptions. So our main starting point for requests is the localhost or whatever URL the service is running, and then additionally with the API and version 1. Then each pizza controller component has also a pizza service and a pizza orders, and we run a thread as well to check if the delivery status is already reached. So in there we just check if the time is already passed and if we have to update the pizza status. Yes. Then the mapping for the pizza simply just returns all the pizzas we have in our menu. The path to the pizza ID loops through or gets the ID pizza and returns just that pizza, not the whole menu. The order ID path returns the specific ID, or like the specific order from that ID. The order mapping creates a new order, so this is a post mapping. Before we just saw get mappings. So in here we also have a request body, and the request body is an order which we have seen before, and this order then gets placed, and if it works we don't get any error and we have a new order in our system. Then we have also the order delivery time order ID, which returns the delivery time of an order ID, so if that order is already delivered. And lastly, we also have the order cancel order ID, which also with which you are able to cancel your order. And as you have seen before, we have everything included in try and catch blocks, because everything can throw an error, and if so, we simply pass over the values with the message we want to print and the error code. As you can see here, all the errors for the cancel order, which we will see in the demo later on as well. Here, the pizza service is simply just creating our menu. If it's empty, we add all our menus. Our currently our pizza factory, our restaurant is able to return these 3 pizzas: the margarita, wine, and spinach. Lovely. We also have these views, which we need to display different fields from our pizza, and the pizza toppings, which just add the different toppings from that pizza. So let's take a look in our API or our exceptions. Each exception has a message, an error code, and a timestamp, which will get printed, and basically we create a new API exception if we encounter an error, and create this error and return the response identity, and return that to the user. So this is our server. We will run this server, and then we will show you how it looks if everything is up and running.
I'm gonna guide you through to what we decided to do. Here we have all of our variables, as you can see, and we decided to go for like a simple design and just have the server and like the client options, like the menu, in the command line. And here in the main is where everything is running and happening. We encountered a problem while we were doing this, and it was that the terminal stopped running after like the client or the user said what he wanted to do with it. So we decided to let it run in a while loop until the person chooses option 7, which is the exit. You're gonna see it later when we show how the menu looks. This is basically what controls what's happening, as I already said, and it's calling other methods. If we go a bit lower, you're gonna see our client management, which is the most interesting part of this. Here we're passing the request body, the URL, and the type of request, which can be a put, a post, or a get in our case. And here we are trying to connect to the URL. As you can see, we put it in a try and catch in case there's some sort of problem with the connection. And then we're just setting the request properties, the output, the connect timeout, and so on. If the request body is different from null, we perform the post to post a new order. Otherwise, we just do the get or put. If we go down here, you can see that we're getting the status. So to see if there is any sort of error, which was pretty useful while we were debugging. And here we're just reading the response if status is greater, or else we do different things. And finally, we just print the response context, which we were reading here. And we use line separators to try and make it look a bit nicer. If we go down here, you're gonna see that it's just like the methods that are getting called from the main and are just handling how everything looks and is displayed for the user. So the main menu, which consists of 7 options, you're gonna see it shortly. The get ID, get complete input, and so on. This is also important to mention. This is how our request body looks like. And yeah, it's taking the parameters from what the user is inputting. Now, and you're gonna see how our menu looks like and the options. We start by putting the URL. And this is how our menu looks like. We have 7 options, as you can see, and we're gonna choose to get the menu. As you can see, you have the toppings, the pizza ID, if it's vegetarian, the price, and the name. We have 3 pizzas in our menu, and let's choose option 2 to see one specific pizza. As you can see, we got the Hawaiian as a result, with all of its ingredients and the pizza ID and the price. Now let's try to post an order. We're putting all the details that were required on the specs. So note. And here you can see that it's been successfully ordered. All of the information is shown here. We can see the payment type, the order at, which is the time, the delivery, when it's expected to arrive, and the pizzas that were ordered. Same with the address, that the takeaways is false, and there's a note. Now if we try to get the order again, and we insert the order ID, which it is 2, you can see the order here now, also respecting the specs and showing everything. Now if we try to get the delivery time of the order 2, yes, you can see here that we get the time, which is gonna be at 16:16, yeah. Cool. And then all the info as well. Now if we try to cancel the order, it's gonna ask for the order ID as well. And as you can see, the order has been cancelled because it hasn't been more than 5 minutes, right? So if we try to cancel it again, we get the error that we are unable to cancel it because it's already been cancelled. Now if we exit, you're gonna see that the menu closes, and yeah, it's all nice.
In addition to the example you saw before, to show that the specs are implemented successfully, if we want to show, for example, if you want to get, for example, the order from the order we just created, you can see that we get all the information that we should get or that are required from the specs, therefore also the ordered at. And if we want to get the delivery time as well from the same order, you can see that we additionally get the delivery time, which is in our case every time 10 minutes after you ordered. So all the information from before, but with the delivery time get method, you also get the delivery time, obviously. All right, welcome to the second part of the Lab 6 assignment, in which we connect our existing client to another server from another group. So we got this link to connect to the server from another group, which is currently running on with ngrok. Let's connect with it and let's see what the menu looks like. So the pizza ID 0 is the meat lovers, which is a bit more expensive and includes a lot of different meat stuff. But I think I would go for the pizza 1, the margarita, which is a bit cheaper and is more basic. So let's try to order. Let's fill in the information. We pay with PayPal. We have no note. We fill in all the necessary stuff. And we want the pizza ID 1. Awesome. So our order ID is the 4. This is our customer ID. That worked. Great. Let's see if we can get the order with our ID. Yes, we can get the order ID. That looks great. Let's also check if we can get the delivery time. which works as well. And there's our delivery time. Great. We changed our mind. We want to get the meat lovers pizza instead. So we cancel the order. Let's see if we can double cancel the order. No, we cannot, because the order was already cancelled or delivered. In our case, it was already delivered. And yeah, that's it, I guess. So we can exit our client and we are happy.
Okay, so we're now going to try and connect our client to another group server. So we can paste the link to their server and we can ask for their menu. So we can see here that they have 3 types of pizza: the margarita, the Hawaiian, but also the spinach one. So we can ask for more information about this last one, for example, and we get indeed all the infos about the spinach one, but we're not really interested, so we rather order a margarita. So now, for compatibility reasons between the different versions of the specifications, we decided to ask for the order ID, even if it might not be used, as it will be the case in this server implementation. So we give basically an order ID number, then our customer ID, then if we rather take it as a takeaway or not, we're going to say true, and then we're going to pay cash. Now, to simplify the client, we decided to hard code the order, so here the margarita, but also the address. That's why it's not asked here, but it's still going to be sent to the server. We can still add a note, so we're going to say no onions. And we can see with this response code that the order has been transmitted to the server. We can still double check it by providing the order ID. And so we indeed received the confirmation of the order here. We can also ask for the time of delivery, still with the order ID, and we can see that we get it here. Finally, we can decide to cancel the order, and we see that this works as well.